I knew where I wanted to get to that day, and that was it.
He was anxious, really, to get
But
there.
I didn't want to spend more than 3 days getting there, you see.
We went to Sarajevo in herd, and we were surrounded by crowds of children as soon as we got there, looking at the car and looking at us and looking at our daughter and saying, "What an excellent car you have."
What an excellent daughter you have.
Yeah.
I think it was the one phrase they'd learned.
Yeah.
Although the Minx line was popular, Roots only had 10% of the market. They wanted more, and so built a bigger family car, the Super Minx. For Dave Stanton, it was the start of an ongoing love affair.
I was sitting in the office one day, and my boss turned to me and said, "A young lad like you ought to be driving a convertible." We used to go abroad in it. We went to Spain 3 times, touring with the hood down.
We had some good times in it,
Yeah.
yes. It was brilliant, really.
We courted for 3 years, didn't we?
We did, yes.
Yes,
Three and a half years.
Yeah, I think the first 2 or 3 continental holidays were during our courting years. We used to borrow a tent off the same boss that advised me to buy a convertible in the first place, and we used to be able to get it up in an hour and a meal on all within an hour.
I was a hairdresser at the time, so that was when all the bouffant hairdos were around and the flick-ups and...
You used to wear all your headscarves as well, didn't you?
Yes, we used to have a pile of headscarves matching what I was wearing. This is one of them, and just got to imagine the pin curls and the flick-ups all around the edge, but that's it, and then we were away then.
With so many memories linked to the car, Dave couldn't bring himself to sell it.
This is the original Hullman Super Minx convertible. I drove it for about 10 years and then put it in store here, and it's been here now for 23 years, and although it's out of the weather and under cover, it's suffered quite badly from mildew inside. A mouse built his nest in the boot there, but it's only to be expected when it's been stored for so long. It wouldn't take too much work to put it back on the road again.
And if he needs spares for the restoration, he's got a barn full.
I've got about 20 Super Minx doors, and there's about 15 or 18 Super Minx windscreens here. I've never had a windscreen break on me in 35 years, but I always keep them just in case. Sooner or later, I'm going to have a bit of a clear out in here, I think. I've just put a new battery on the car, and I'm going to try and start it up, but no, I don't think we're going to get any luck. I'll give it another try. After 23 years, it's a bit too much to expect, even a Hullman to start.
Oh well, there's probably the right spare somewhere in the loft. But Roots were dependent on the badge-engineered Hullmans and the ageing Super Snipe range that had been first thought of in the 30s. Like Jowett, they tried something new. Tim Fry and his colleague thought they had the answer.
We thought we could design exactly the car everybody wanted, and we went to see the director of engineering. He said, "All right, get on with it then." And so we left his office and looked at each other and said, "What on earth have we done?" But we said we'd do it, and we're British, so we'll have to do it.
Like the Javelin, this car was radical for its day. It had an aluminium engine in the rear and independent suspension. It was built in a brand new factory, not in Coventry, but on Clydeside in Scotland. The economies of this move proved hard to justify, with parts shipped north from the Midlands and the finished car, the Hullman Imp, shipped south again.
Hello there.
I'm going to give you the money after, he
That's
said.
it, my duck boy. Yeah, thank you.
For Barbara Pearson, it was simply the car she wanted. After her first in 1968, she replaced it with her current Imp in 1973.
I call her Dinky, that's her name, because she is dinky. She's just sort of nice and compact. She's got everything in her that I think a car needs, and that's it. Speed. She's good on petrol, very good on petrol. But I never use one of these pumps. I wouldn't know how to use it. A man tried to show me once. I said, oh, don't bother. I said, oh, life's too difficult for that, and I'll go somewhere else, and I did. He looked amazed, of course, the fact that I should refuse his petrol, but...
Here we are, thank you. Thank you. Ta-ra then.
As well as being good on petrol, the Imp had lively acceleration and quite a bit of power.
Woof, she's off at the lights without any hesitation. As long as you've got in the right gear, of course. It amazes me how slow some people are, which I think causes accidents. I haven't got time for people who are still tiddling about at traffic lights. I'm miles away usually before they've even changed gear. And they think, what, cheeky little Imp, because that's what they were called. Did you know that? The cheeky Imp.
Being built on Clydeside, the cheeky Imp was isolated from the rest of the Roots factories in Coventry. Despite a pioneering design, Imp production remained difficult and expensive. Just as Jowett's decision to build in Bradford destroyed the Javelin, so Roots' move to Scotland sealed the fate of their Imp, and eventually of the whole company.
I think it's a shame they ever stopped making them. I really am. But they did, and that's it.
And after that racy lady Imp owner, more women get behind the wheel for next week's programme. Watch out for one lady owner next Tuesday at 8:30.